Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. So I've gotten quite a few questions about what should I do with my life? Should I do this, make this decision or this decision? In fact, I'd say a majority of the emails that I get from you guys are emails basically asking for my advice on a particular situation, on making some kind of life decision, whether it be what major that you should take in college, whether you should take this job or that job, whether you should pursue this sport or that sport, all kinds of questions about big decisions that you have in life. And, I've been there too. I've definitely struggled with making decisions on which way should I go. But one thing that, I found is really, really important to consider is that the decision, like what you do, doesn't matter as much as how you do it, right? And so, how you do something is so much more important than what you do. And this might seem like this isn't true. You might say, no, John, this doesn't make sense. I disagree with you. Making the right decision and choosing what you do is really, really important. But, I would tell you this, is that most of the time when you're making a decision, when you're choosing between two things that are somewhat what you think might be equally good, if you're actually making a decision between two things, you've probably narrowed things down to what you think are probably like the best two choices, or maybe there are only two options. But most of the time, they're all good options, right? That they can all be successful. There's a lot of roads, there's a lot of paths that can lead to success in life. But every single one of those roads is going to require you to execute, okay? And so most people, what they lack is execution. They lack the ability to actually put in the hard work and to execute successfully. And so the problem is not that they're making bad decisions in life. It's that they're not executing on the decisions that they are making, right? So you can make perfect decisions on choosing the perfect major in college or the perfect job or the perfect workout routine or diet, but if you don't execute on that, if you don't put in everything that you have, right? If you're not doing, I did this video on 9 or above, but if you're not doing a 9 or above, it's going to matter a lot less than the actual decision itself. So what I would encourage you to do is to think about, for a lot of decisions that you're making in life, not which one is right? Because we don't have crystal balls. We can't predict the future, right? It's like betting on the stock market, right? I mean, you can pick a stock and you can think that this one's going to do well, but ultimately, no one knows. No one knows the future. And so for a lot of decisions in life, no one knows what the answer is going to be, whether this will be a better decision or not. But a lot of times, even making a suboptimal decision can be overcome by putting in a more than optimal amount of effort, right? So how you do the thing. And the other part of this also is that you have to realize that, it's not all about results. It's not all about the outcome, right? I talk about this a lot in a lot of videos. I did this video on making what it felt like making my first $1 million. And I talked about this a lot in that video if you're curious about that and that story. But it's a lot of it is about how you feel about what you're executing on, what you're doing, right? And so how you do things is going to determine your overall well-being a lot more than what you're doing and the result that you get from that, the kind of success that you get, right? You can feel a lot better, and I'll tell you this, a lot of you won't believe this, but I'll promise you that you'll feel a lot better in life giving your all and executing as well as possible, putting in hard work, and putting your maximum effort in and making a small amount of money for that, but knowing that you've given it your all, knowing that you've put in the execution that was necessary in order to achieve the success, even if it's a small success, then you will being handed something that you didn't have to work very hard for, even if there's a great prize attached to the end. Then again, I know a lot of you say, no, I just want the money, just show me the money. And I understand that perspective, but I'm telling you that in the long run in life, that the thing that's going to matter is that you've earned what you've gotten, right? That you've actually put in the effort. And so, you shortchange yourself if you achieve a result without putting in the effort that is required to deserve that result. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? And that's why I say that, when you're making these decisions, don't make the decision based on a crystal ball on thinking what will produce the best possible outcome, right? A lot of people do this in career choices. They say, well, what's going to produce me the maximum amount of pay? Do doctors make more than lawyers? I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but I'll tell you what, who makes the most money is the person, or it doesn't even matter about making the most money, right, in this case, but who's the most successful, who's the most fulfilled in their life is the person who actually puts in the work. Whatever you choose make sure that you're going to be able to give it your 100%. It might not be your passion, but you can be passionate about it. You can bring passion, and you can give your 100% to whatever you choose. So whatever I'm doing in life, right? If I'm going to do it, I'm either going to bring my 100% to it, I'm either going to bring my 9 or above game, or I'm not going to do it at all. And so that's what influences my decisions more than the actual, what is the most optimal thing, right? So, I could give you an example here with Simple Programmer. A lot of the decisions, a lot of things I do with my life, if my goal were to just make as much money as possible, I wouldn't be doing a lot of the things that I'm doing, right? I wouldn't be doing things the way that I'm doing them, necessarily recording 2 to 3 YouTube videos a day. Probably is not as profitable as I could spend that time either doing coaching, where I bill $2,000 to $3,000 an hour, or doing some kind of consulting, or building up another product, or doing some investing, right? There's a lot of other ways that I could be spending my time that would produce a larger amount of money. But I'll tell you what, the thing that I'm going to put my all into, because I want to, is recording the YouTube videos, is creating this channel, is doing this stuff, because this means a lot to me. Again, it is something that I'm passionate about, but I'm bringing the passion to it. I've decided to make this decision, to go down this path, to do what I'm doing with my time, because I know that I am going to bring my all to this, because this is something that's important to me, and I've chosen that, right? And so ultimately, like I said, I could choose different paths, right? I could do different things. If I were spending my time blogging, and I did for a long time, I would be putting my 100% into the blogging, right? But those choices, again, are not as important as what you bring to it. So when you're making a decision in life, don't just think about, what is potentially going to have the best outcome. Think about what are you going to be able to commit to 100%? What are you going to be able to put in the work, the effort required to achieve success at, and what are you going to be able to sustain over the long run? What thing is it that you're going to be able to keep on putting in that maximal effort into, right? And then focus on, again, on how you do it. Once you start executing, start focusing on how you do it. Like there's a bunch of diet programs and fitness programs that will get you phenomenal results, right? You don't necessarily have to have a magic bullet program, although I think the one that I'm working on creating is going to be pretty close to that, because it's pretty damn good. But it doesn't matter if you follow my program or someone else's program, you have to execute, right? So there's probably 100 different diet and fitness programs that could get you really good results, right? Now, some of them might be better than others, like I said, but the problem is not that people don't have the right advice. It's not that people don't have an effective diet or fitness program. The reason why they don't achieve results has to do with how they do it. They're not consistent. They're not executing on it, right? They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And so again, this is the whole metaphor that I'm trying to explain here for life and making big decisions is, again, it's not so important to pick the very best one, okay? What's important is that you actually execute, that you actually follow through, that you give it your all, and how you do it is not only going to affect the outcome more than the decision itself in most cases, right? I mean, there's some poor decisions that you can make, but it's also going to affect more than anything else how you feel about it and how you feel about the result that you get, right? Because you can achieve a suboptimal result, but have deserved it and have earned it and have put in the work, and you're going to feel good about that, whereas you can achieve a grandiose result with, and if you haven't put in the effort, if you haven't put in the work, if you haven't earned it, that's a road to actually depression and suicide. That a lot of, you'll see this in a lot of celebrities, a lot of rock stars, a lot of people that feel like they've gotten a bounty dumped on them that they didn't deserve in life because they haven't earned it. So focus on earning things, focus on how you do things, not what you do. And that's the path that's going to lead to the most success in life and the most fulfillment in what you're doing. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button below, click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.